Welcome back to another episode of Across the Bifrost. This is Dr. Norbert coming to you from an exclusive construction site.
That's of the two locations you could have picked for this episode. It could have been a gamma-like shelter.
No.
You went with a construction site? All right.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
I'm speaking to the working class people who enjoy this show.
Good point.
Yeah.
Fair enough. Yeah.
Hang on
a minute. Playing little miniature tabletop plastic games is not a working class hobby. This shit's expensive, man.
Yeah, it's not the same as having a few pints watching a footy, is it?
No, exactly, yeah. Anyway, hi, I'm Jamie. I'm here too.
Okay, great. Well, let us get into the events for today. We're going to be looking at a certain box. Today, one of the boxes is going to be, the box we're going to look at is the Abomination and Wrecking Crew box. But before we do that, let's talk about important events in the European area. So May 17th through the 18th is the next installment of the Mutant Weekender.
Yeah.
It's so exciting. It's the Extinction Agenda, where you get to play an assassin, one of the Weapon X assassins, at the same time that you're competitively trying to get to the top after 2 days of gaming. This will be held at the Dark Sphere location, which is in West London and in Shepherd's Bush, just like the one in January was held. We just published a whole bunch of prize support, and we've got other prize support that we haven't revealed yet as well.
Yeah, and there's loads of tickets left, so make sure you grab some. I've been speaking to loads of people who are like, yeah, I'm probably going to come. Decide, right? Yeah. I'm saying it. I'm calling you out. Decide now. Grab a ticket so we know how many pods they're going to be, so we know how many prizes to buy.
Yes, please. Yes, please. Yeah, we have room for 80, but we have 52 signed up so far. Yes. Ideally, I'd like to get at least a round number of 8. So 56 would be ideal, but we can obviously go higher.
Yeah, there you go. And obviously, a quick reminder that we have the new format that seems to be sweeping the MCP world by storm. Where on the Saturday, it's a big old tournament with everyone in. And then on the Sunday, you get divided into pods of 8 based on your ranking from the first day. So it means you can have an awful day on day 1. And on day 2, you can play people that also had an awful day and then have hopefully a less awful day. So yeah, and you can change your list in between the 2 days as well. So nice and flexible.
Yep, absolutely. All right, moving on to June, we have 2 events. The 7th and 8th of June is the fantastic Multiverse of Malmo tournament. This happens in Malmo, Sweden, at a brewery where they also do barbecue food. So there's like every reason to come. So that, and you have to hurry on that one. That's filling up. They may not have space soon enough. Excuse me. And then the last one is our own MCP GT happening in London. Tell us, what dates are those, Jamie?
That is the 28th and the 29th of June.
Brilliant. And that's also in Dark Sphere again.
That is in Dark Sphere, yes. Is that right? Hang on a minute. There's 2 GTs going on. Yes, that is right, yes. There's another GT happening on May the 31st and the 1st of June. It's the UK Games Expo. But yes, a couple of GTs. So yeah, but the one you're talking about in June, we're going to be hosting that one. So yeah, come on down. It's going to be fun.
It's going to be really good. I'll have all the official new swag that AMG has given out to everybody for this year's GTs. So we are stoked, and that'll be the 2 of us running that one as well.
Yeah.
All right, enough of the announcements. Let us get into it. We're going to start with Abomination. So Abomination, his alias is Emil Blonsky. So give us some backstory. Where is Emil from?
Oh, don't ask questions. I've got like a vague idea of Abomination's origin story.
He's not a mutant?
He's not a mutant, no. Blonsky is a Russian-born, British-raised Royal Marine who is recruited by the United States Army to capture Hulk. That's a eclectic background, right?
The British Army accepted a Russian-born person into their special forces?
Yeah, there you go. Well, when you look like Tim Roth, I've been told, by the way, I look like Tim Roth quite often. That's
more handsome, though.
That and Harry Kane, which I don't like, but I get told I look like those guys. Anyway, yes. So Emil Blonsky, he was injected with the super soldier serum, and then transfused with Bruce Banner's blood. So I guess he's like part super soldier, part Hulk.
That sounds intense.
That's pretty cool, actually. Yeah.
Yeah. Whoa. So he's a good guy?
No, absolutely not. He hates the Hulk.
Yeah. Well, why? What happened in all that good guy stuff happening?
Well, the United States Army got him to capture the Hulk. They recruited him for it. So I guess that's his thing. I don't know what went down. I'm not a big Abomination guy, but they hate each other. And also their models, Immortal Hulk and Abomination, were modeled to be facing against each other.
Yeah.
So if you look at those two fighting each other, or you can Google it, they look fantastic. It's really cool.
I've taken a photo of my two models like that, and they are amazing. The A-Bomb model and the Immortal Hulk Bomb are really chef's kiss out of Atomic S games.
Yeah.
All right.
Did you say Atomic Ass Games?
Did I? No. That would be the whiskey. That'd be the whiskey talking.
That slipped out. Yeah. We're big fans of AMG on this podcast, actually. Yes.
I like gases. Okay. He is, this is one of these incredible models that's on the largest size base, the 65 millimeter base, which is exciting. He is affiliated with Criminal Syndicate and Hydra. Okay. We'll come back to that in a moment. Let us take a look at his stats. He is got defense 4 physical, 3 energy, 3 mystic, and 7 hit points on both sides. He's 5 threat, size 4, and medium move. What do you think about this for a 5 threat character? I think all those stats seem to make a lot of sense. The amount of hit points, I'm curious of your thoughts on. 7 and 7, 14 altogether.
Well, we're burying the lead a little bit. There's some text later that make the 7 health make a little bit more sense. But yeah, at a glance, 7 health doesn't feel like much, but he's got ways of kind of helping with that.
Okay.
The main thing here, the money here is it's a medium move on a large base. That is fast. That is fast. That is
so only one like that. Is that right?
No, Abomination as well. Sorry, that is Abomination. Apocalypse also has that.
Oh yeah. Okay, sure.
Is that it? No, I think Hulkbuster. No, I don't know. I'm not sure. There might be some others, but that is real fast. The only thing faster than that is Namor and Angela and Amazing Spider-Man. You know, the medium base long move. So yeah, large base medium move is very, very, very fast. Yep.
So I agree, and it keeps surprising me because when I use them on the table, when I also use Immortal Hulk, I'm like, oh, he moves medium. Oh man, this is great. So easy midline attacks straight away, right? Round 1. Yeah. Okay. Speaking of attacks, he's got 3 of them. They're all physical. The first one is your classic strike, old school AMG MCP. Strike. The strike is range 2, 7 dice, no power. It's a gainer, so after the attack resolved, he just gets 1 power. If he's got 2 triggers. One's a wild poison, so after the attack resolved, you get the poison condition, which means that in the power phase you get 1 less power. He also has a second trigger, which is a wild and a hit. It's a push. After the attack resolved, push the target character away short. No size restriction.
That's pretty cool.
Very cool. His second attack is
7 dice too, by the way. 7 dice. That's a lot of dice, especially for a 5 threat.
I was going to say, for a 5 threat, it is a little outrageous. You know, Dracula has one, though. Drax got a 7.
He does,
which is really important because of his clapback attack.
Yeah.
But yes, no, this is fantastic. Poison seems is probably the least important special condition. However, it synergizes with a lot of his other tech that we're going to come on to.
It synergizes with Warlock, and that's important.
Oh, of course.
Everyone's favorite mutant. Yeah.
Have you shoved Abomination into your new mutant builds yet? Is that what's going on?
Not yet, but every time I see someone playing, like when Abomination came out, they was like, oh, cool, poison stuff. Let's put it in with Baron Strucker. And every person I see post, I'm like, you should put Warlock in that. No one listens to me. Not a single person's done it yet, but I stand by it.
All right.
There's some for those that don't know, there's some poison stuff. We'll get to it later, but Warlock also has some poison tricks, which are really cute.
Okay, yeah. So fantastic number of dice for sure. Range is short. The gainer is interesting. It's kind of a curse and a blessing at the same time. And push is always good. However, note that the push, and this has screwed me up in the past, the push is not optional. You have to do it. Yes.
That's interesting. Yeah.
Yeah. So sometimes I do another attack before I do the strike in case he gets pushed out of my range or for whatever reason. Yeah.
Yeah. Be careful with that.
Okay. The second attack is called Hurl Debris, which is fun because he actually has some debris in his hand in the model.
Yeah. Very cool.
This is his longer range attack. It's range 3, only 5 dice, doesn't cost you anything though. And it's also a gainer. He gets 1 power and that's it. So basically this is so he stays relevant despite not being perhaps close enough to target.
Yeah, for sure. And gainers are good for that reason, especially on 5 dice attacks, because 5 dice attacks, sometimes you won't deal any damage, but you're only going to use Hurl Debris to gain a power because you have something else planned, I think.
Yeah, exactly that. Although you got, Jamie, you got some shade thrown on you in our local Discord.
Did I?
Yeah, because you were saying how people were commenting how in Spider Foes a 5 dice attack is really good, but somehow Jamie Land mutants having 5 dice attacks is bad.
But hang on a minute. But then there's the rest of the text on the cards. Like, Spider Foes have some pretty cool text on their cards. Mutants have, pay 2 power to add 2 dice.
I don't know.
Maybe I'm wrong. I am biased. I accept that. That's fine.
His last attack is his spender. It's called Gamma Bomb. Gamma Bomb is a range 3 attack with 8 dice. Nice. Costs 4, so it's pretty standard for a spender. After he's got a number of things on it though as well. After the attack is resolved, if it dealt damage, the target character gains the poison special condition, the Warlock synergy right there.
Mm-hmm.
After this attack resolved, also place this character within one of the target characters, so it's a movement buff because it's a range 3 attack. He gets to move right to the character, but he has to. Think about that. And lastly, he's got a wild trigger for a throw before damage is dealt. The character can, if it's size 4 or less, he can throw it short.
Oh, he does. He has to throw it short.
He has to throw short. He is full of aggression. This guy's got some anger issues, man. So he will be placing himself and he'll be throwing it. Now, what's interesting about this is if you get that trigger, you're the attacker, so you can decide which order these things happen. So if you really want to go far away, or maybe not so far away, you could do the throw part first if you had the trigger. Yep. And then do the place part. Or the other way around. You could place to where the character is now and then throw it any direction.
That's very cool. Yeah, I like that a lot. It's kind of the Logan thing as well, right? Logan can do that with best of what he does. I really like that. I think that we normally don't like places that are guaranteed. This is a guaranteed place. Sorry, this is great. We love places that are guaranteed. And yeah, you're right. That throw is omnidirectional as well. So you really can decide where Abomination is going to end up after this attack's done.
Yeah.
And because the throw trigger is before damage, you can guarantee it. As long as you get the wild, you can guarantee you know where he's going to end up. Which is really, really strong. And with that base, and this is range 3, he's so mobile. He can get around anywhere.
I know. Yeah, he goes everywhere. So that's why I throw him into my lists. I've been putting him into my Midnight Suns list to deal with D shapes, for instance, because he can motor around stuff like that.
Oh, God, him in Midnight Suns. Yeah, we'll get onto it, but the bump in this case. Okay, let's talk about that. When we talk about affiliations, let's talk about him in Midnight Suns. He's great.
Okay. Any other thoughts about the suite of attacks? I think it's really comprehensive, to be honest with you. He's got no deficiencies.
The most complained about thing with Abomination is the fact that they're all gainers. And like you say, it's a blessing and a curse. I love gainers personally because it means you can plan your entire turn out and know exactly what's going to happen. But it does mean that he's not going to have some crazy turn. He's not going to accidentally spike 6 damage, gain 6 power, and then just go nuts. So it keeps him nice and stable, I think. He's pretty well balanced, and like I say, you can plan out what he's going to do.
Let's talk about his passive superpowers because I think they speak to that so-called limitation, okay? He's got some active superpowers as well, but we'll do the passive ones first. The first one is called Gamma Mutated Hide. When this character would suffer damage from an enemy effect, reduce the amount suffered by 1 to a minimum of 1, and after the effect is resolved, if it suffered damage, it gains a power. So here's a way to mitigate the gainer thing, so to speak, and do so in quite a reliably way.
Yeah, because you're probably going to be swimming in power if someone hits you. And also, the damage reduction is what I was talking about earlier with the 7 health. His 7 health is probably going to translate to more like 10, 11 health because of this, damage reduction. It's pretty great. I think he's really going to punish you for hitting him.
Yep, agreed. Going on to the next passive ability, it is Irradiated Strength. During the power phase, this character gains additional power. So boom, just extra power.
2 power turn.
Yeah, and so that kind of mitigates the gainer aspect of this as well, doesn't it?
Yeah, and it means you can plan, good MCP players can plan out their round 1. Great MCP players can plan out round 2, and Abomination really helped that because it's like, right, well, I'm going to get 2 power this round. If I pick up an extract, I'll be on 1, and you can do all the maths way in advance. It's great. And then I think really good Abomination players are going to be able to plan this out. We'll get onto the other superpowers later, but you can do all the maths in your head of like, well, 2 power, and then I can, like you said earlier, you can move and you can definitely attack someone on the midline because of how fast he is and how he's got that hurl debris if they're even further back to gain another power. So in round 2, I'm going to have this much power and blah, blah, blah. Yeah, so this is a real predictable character in a good way.
Gainers may not let you do like really stylistic kind of things. But if you think about them, if you think through them, they're very consistent in terms of like, okay, I'm going to have this much power at this time to be able to do these things, you know?
Yes, exactly. It's the reason why Spectacular Spider-Man is one of the best 3 threats in the game, because everything he does is no one's taking him because he can gain loads of power, right? We're all taking him because he has gainers and you can guarantee what he wants to do each turn. So this is just like a fighty version of that, basically. So yeah, it's much better than I think it originally looked. If you're not a fan of gainers, you should try this out.
Yeah. And his last passive superpower is very easy. He's immune to poison, which is sensible.
Makes sense.
Gamma
which again,
radiation.
also actually backs up what we're saying, because his power economy is really hard to mess with.
Yes, good point. So, yeah, I like that.
Yeah. Also, I don't know if we're using gainer as if we know what everyone knows what that means.
Yeah.
Gainer is an attack where you always gain 1 power no matter what happens.
Yep. Cool.
And then we use builders, which are regular attacks, like you get power equal to the damage you deal. So yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so he's got 2 superpowers, active ones. First is I'm the strongest there is, and I've been thinking about this. I love the language they use for these abilities, but there's so many along these lines. Hulk has got some that are basically saying the same thing. Thor has one that says basically the same thing, which is kind of funny.
Yeah, I quite like the idea of them all just arguing about it.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, so Hulk,
Hulk having some Guinness.
So Hulk has strongest one there is, and obviously he came out first. So it means that Abomination is replying to Hulk's card saying, "I'm the strongest one there is."
Nice one. Does Immortal Hulk have one?
Good question. I'm looking at Thor now. Hold on.
Yeah, Thor too.
Immortal Hulk.
Thor, I think, is like a strongest Avenger or something like that.
Right. Okay. Yeah.
Thor 1. We're talking about.
Yeah. Immortal Hulk doesn't have it. Strongest Avenger, or
is Thor 1. Yeah,
yes,
does Thor 2 have one? What's his?
No, he doesn't.
No, it doesn't have a Thor that has that kind of name. Okay, so this is definitely an argument between Hulk 1 and Abomination.
Yeah,
nice.
For sure.
Love it. Okay, I'm the strongest there is costs 3 power. He chooses a terrain piece of size 4 or less within 2 and throws it long. So it can only be used once per turn. So within 2 is always a bit of a limitation, but pretty standard. But throwing it long, that's awesome.
Yeah, really, really good. Originally, it was Magneto was the only one that could do this.
Spacebar.
Spacebar. Sorry, Ebony Maw.
Ebony Maw. Sorry.
Sorry, they were the guy. There was the telekinesis boys that could do it, and now it's the strong boys because Thor can do it and Abomination now, and Juggernaut actually he could with his card. But yeah, this is really cool.
With his card though,
yeah. Long throw basically means you're going to hit who you want to hit. I find that when I play a lot of Thor in Sentinels, dropping Sentinels again, still playing them. I find that with a long throw, you're always in range, but you struggle with getting like a clean path to people. So just be aware of that. Learn your kind of your terrain throwing rules because they're a little bit confusing. But this is an amazing throw. Size 4, throw long. It's amazing.
Yeah, reasonable price, not a bargain, but not expensive either.
Yeah, but the thing there is, very, very key thing here. So we've already talked about how Abomination can walk from deployment to the midline, attack someone. His attacks are gainers, so he's going to have 3 power. He will then have enough to throw this thing. So I think that there's a world where you can move. So basically, you want to look at the map before you even put him down, before you even deploy. Look at the map, see where there's a midline extract that you don't want to pick up. And if there's a size 4 next to it, you deploy Abomination there, you move in once, do a gainer, throw a size 4 round 1, and, probably get brace out of your opponent round 1, which is great. So, I think that's a really, really strong turn for round 1.
Yeah, agreed. Okay, and that's a good point, because round 1, you're gonna walk. You have to walk. That's one action, but then the other action gets you a power guaranteed, and then you're on. You can throw.
You're on 3, yeah, and it's all guaranteed. You can see that happening before you even deploy. Because of gainers. The beauty of gainers. Are we selling gainers enough?
Okay, now he has the last superpower is his really fluffy one. It's called Radiation Zone. It also costs 3 power. So each enemy character within 2 with the poison special condition suffers 2 damage. Poof! What? Just automatic 2 damage? Guaranteed 2 damage. Amazing. And this is the Warlock tech. Is it Warlock like spewing poisons out? Is that what's going on?
No, Warlock has a similar thing. So once you've already spewed poison out, they can work together to spew the poison out. Throw in Strucker, throw in Ultron, get everyone poisoned. Then Warlock can also deal 2 automatic damage. I think Strucker can too, but I don't care. He's not a mutant.
Okay, so that's only part of it, though. After that happens, then each enemy character, so it's just really helpful. It's not your friends, it's just the enemies. Within 2, gain the poison special condition. So if they didn't have it before, now they have it. Each character that gained the special poison special condition in this way loses a power, and the superpower can only be used once per turn. So the trick about this one is to either get Abomination to put poison up on some enemies, or have some helpers put the poison up in advance. And then he uses his superpower for 3 power, which, as we talked about, is very easy to gather that power reliably, and then just randomly causes 2 damage to people within 2.
Yeah, it's pretty great. And, especially good into characters that have smaller health pools. Web Warriors spring to mind here because Web Warriors hate poison because their power economy is so delicate. Web Warriors, they need every 1 amount of power they can get. So if you poison them, they hate it, and then they only have 5 health for the most part. So you just go around doing 2 guaranteed damage to them. It's almost half their health pool. So yeah, this can be really cool. I can see why people are putting Abomination in Hydra. Well, sorry, he's affiliated in Hydra. So that's why
he's affiliated. Yeah. But, so tell me about that. Why? Because we're gonna go on. So he's Criminal Syndicate and Hydra affiliated. I've only used him in Midnight Suns because he's so good there. Yeah. But what have you seen when he's actually affiliated?
So in Hydra, and also a lot of people are playing Hydra at the moment because with the crisis changes, there's some fun stuff there. I won't go into detail. We'll probably do a Hydra dojo on the Patreon at some point when someone inevitably wins a tournament with Hydra.
AJ went 3-1 at the recent tournament with Hydra.
Ah, there we go. Maybe we should slide into his DMs.
Yeah, the Goonhammer author himself.
There you go. Yeah,
let's do it.
All right. So a lot of people are playing them at the moment. The new crisis helped them a lot because of the World Domination card, whatever. But Baron Strucker has the ability to give out all characters within 3 of him poison for just 2 power, which is really strong, especially when doubled with, Abomination, who's doing 2 guaranteed damage, Splashing Warlock, who's doing 2 guaranteed damage. I think Omega Red has some poison stuff going on as well.
Oh, God, yeah. Omega Red is full of poison.
Yeah, he loves it. So
literally.
Full of poison, yeah. He's just bleeding poison.
Yeah.
So that is it's very popular right now, and Abomination's affiliated, so it's quite easy to do. I say easy to do. It's still a poison game plan to pull off, but yeah, people were loving it.
Yeah. So going to that Criminal Syndicate, Omega Red, he is affiliated in Criminal Syndicate. Criminal Syndicate has got a crap ton of characters in it. I don't know where they help Abomination, though.
Well,
right?
Yeah, I think Abomination helps Kingpin, for sure, because Kingpin likes big tanky guys standing on points, right? Staying healthy. Sure. Abomination is a big tanky guy and is so fast. So it can just run around. You just basically pick a point where you need a guy on, and Abomination could just probably move and get there.
Okay.
Not the sexiest turn, if you buy Abomination, you probably want him to be smashing stuff. But
that's my point. He's a 5 threat, and he's got all this mobility and an output. So it seems like a shame to just have him sitting on a babysitting point.
Yeah, I guess he's doing the same job that Lizard could do, who's a 3 threat. I think his maybe as a crisis player, I'm sort of thinking about it too much, but I think his speed and his kind of durability is really cool. So I like the idea of him and Kingpin. But you play Shadowlands Daredevil sometimes. Does he like a reroll?
Yeah. I mean, look, he has a lot of power output, but he's got no dice fixing. So having some dice fixing through the Shadowland Daredevil leadership is helpful. Mm-hmm. Having him affiliated in that faction also helpful.
Yeah.
I'm just taking a look at Omega Red now, right? Omega Red, where is his poison? So he's immune to poison, but...
Death Factor. This character and enemy characters within 2 of it with the poison special conditions suffer 2. So he has the same thing, similar thing to Abomination.
Similar thing. Yeah. No, but he's got deadly spores, death spores rather, which is an innate superpower. Enemy characters that end their activation within 2 of Omega Red gain the poison special condition. Additionally, at the end of this character's activation, enemy characters within 2 of it gain the poison special condition. So
it's all guaranteed.
It's all guaranteed. So he's quite handy. He is a 4 threat. And the problem with his death factor that you just mentioned, where he does 2 damage, it also hurts him
Yeah, that is a slight worry. Yeah,
annoying part about it.
But yeah, I mean, hey, dish out enough poison and maybe they'll all die before you do.
So yeah, there's lots of room for him to work in Criminal Syndicate. And we're going to come on to one of his cards that actually makes him even more appropriate for Criminal Syndicate. But I've been using it at Midnight Suns. He seems to be very popular at Midnight Suns, and it's mostly because of the bump. When you have a large base, doing a 1-inch place within yourself moves you quite far.
Yeah, and also he gets 2 power a turn, so he has power to burn on the bump. So I assume like round 1, you can probably do some pretty cool extract grabs with him, right? Because you could bump, move to the midline, I'm assuming, grab an extract, move back.
That's exactly right.
Yeah. So it's like you've got a really tanky character with a safe grab who can then bump for the rest of the game and just get exactly where he wants to. Yeah, pretty great.
Yeah, so that's where I've been using him. I've been using him quite a lot there. E shapes are going away, of course, but when I was using E shapes, I was just doing actually Blade, Immortal Hulk, and him a lot of times. Yeah.
It's a lot of green plastic on the table.
and it worked. It worked well. I was actually quite pleased with the results of that, but that's not the case so much anymore.
I actually think Midnight Suns like there not being E-maps because they're really good fighters, but not against a really concentrated fighting team. So now that there's no E-maps and the maps are a bit more spread out and broader, I think Midnight Suns, I think we're about to see a big spike in Midnight Suns wins, to be honest, because this is going to be great. So yeah,
I'm taking them to the Belgium Masters. I'm taking them and playing them around with them. So yeah, looking forward to it.
Nice.
I'm thinking that we should jump to the tactics cards because they're associated with the characters rather than okay, cool. So the first one that he comes with in his box is called Gamma Burst, which I'm just looking at. The artwork is so good. Look at that artwork.
It's really cool.
Is that War Machine getting hurled away from all the
War
gamma
Machine,
radiation?
And I bet you, if that's who I think it is, I bet you will never guess who that character is in the bottom right.
That's not Kraven? You don't think that's Kraven?
I think that's Hercules.
Hercules. Could be Hercules. That was my second guess. My second guess. Absolutely.
Yeah, great artwork.
Look at that. Okay, Gamma Burst.
Sergio, what's the artist? Sergio Acuna.
Yeah, is that your guy? That's
not my guy. He's a guy who's also great.
Okay. This card is unaffiliated and active, so you can take it whenever you have Abomination. During his activation, Abomination spends 3 power to play this card. Push each enemy character with the poison special condition and within 2 of Abomination away medium. Each push character suffers 1 damage. So this immediately recalls to me the lizard card, Monkey Brain.
Yeah, Monkey Brain is Lizard Home, yeah.
Which does a push as well. I think it might be short. I can't remember. But my point is that this has a few more conditions added to it. So like the characters have to be with poison and within 2, which is not guaranteed. But they push away medium and they also suffer damage, which is more than the Monkey Brain card does.
Yeah, which is worth mentioning as well that when this condition is met, it's also the same condition as Abomination doing the 2 guaranteed damage on his card. So that's 2 guaranteed damage and then 1 guaranteed damage from this card. So it's going to stack up, and this doesn't have to be played during his activation either. So you can get someone like a Mega Red come up.
No, it does. It does.
Oh, it does?
It says during his activation.
Yeah. Great. So I think this happens after you've done his whole shtick of like, I've hurt everyone within 2 of me who's poisoned, and now I'm going to hurt you again and push you. I think it's pretty great.
So I've tried to take this card again in Midnight Suns, and I haven't found enough times to use it to make it worthwhile.
Do you find the poisons come off? That's the big question mark here. Does he get poison off that often?
Yeah. Oh, no, that's the problem. Yeah. So I think if you have a more serious poison game plan, then this card becomes useful. But just using a Midnight Suns, it all relies on him for the most part to get the poisons out and stuff like that. Yeah. And it's just, you're asking him to do too much work or kind of like side work instead of his main job. And that's not good.
Yeah, that's the big real problem here, I think, is are you going to get poisons off? I thought we would see more crises that give out poison. We do have Terrigen canisters, which gives out poison. So that might be a good one for Abomination. But yeah, I mean, poison is a hard condition to get off. And then when you do, it's not that effective. It turns on half of his card, which is great. But yeah, I find the same problem with Warlock is hit the poison half of his card just doesn't happen. Yeah. Because I can't get the poison on.
E's are going away, so it doesn't make it so easy to use, where you get a lot of characters within 2. On the other hand, the new crises, a lot of them have the thing where the extract holder, if it's near secure, gets benefits somehow. So there might be some instances where he still gets this off. So I would suggest you guys think about this if you have a poison game plan in mind.
Definitely, yeah.
So it's not a bad card, but you have to plan for it.
Oh yeah, I wouldn't expect Abomination to get this off on his own.
Right. Okay, his second card is called You Will Do As I Say, Monster. It's also unaffiliated, and it's an active card. So this is during George Tarleton's activation. So that means either one of the MODOK characters.
Yep.
Either one of those, during that person's activation, if MODOK is within 2 of an allied abomination, he may spend 5 power. That's a lot of power.
5 power?
5 power to play this card. Then George Tarleton throws the allied abomination medium. So it's kind of like a gamma launch, but you have to play George Tarleton. Now, MODOK 1 is not used terribly much anymore. So MODOK 2 is who you're talking about, who is the sinister scientist, right? And he is affiliated with, Scientist Supreme. That's what it is, Scientist Supreme. And he is affiliated with Criminal Syndicate.
And Hydra. Both.
Oh, is he? Both? Oh, okay. Whoa, with Hydra then maybe it's more helpful.
Yeah. Do you play much of that MODOK? Does he get 5 power easily?
That is a very good question.
I don't know enough about MODOK.
Now. Yeah, he's got a gainer. So that's with only 5 dice, though. So that's a great
a builder. That's a builder. The dice. Yeah,
sorry, builder.
Arsenal,
A builder. Yep.
So no, not really. And also, I know that this MODOK has really great ways to spend power. So maybe he's not getting 5 power. But it is a fun card, and it is a team up card, and we love team up cards, and they're usually not great. But the artwork's amazing
too. Look at that. He's speeding up Hulk, or even Immortal Hulk on there. Wow.
It's great. And MODOK's just laughing in the background. It's pretty great. It's very thematic.
Thematic as always, but you're going to struggle to find 5 power to play this card.
Yeah, I think so. I'll say one fun part of it as well, which is a little bit of extra flavor of the theme I love. Normally these things where you throw yourself at someone, it will say you don't suffer damage from this collision. This one you do. So MODOK's just throwing Abomination into someone, and Abomination gets hurt by it, which I think is brilliant.
That's interesting, because I was just thinking of this as a way to get Abomination into the fray.
Yeah.
But I like, you're saying you could throw him to cause damage, and that makes sense.
Well, he's a size 4.
Yeah, size 4, exactly. Yeah. So he's doing 5 damage to somebody.
I think that's why it costs 5, because you're putting Abomination into the fight where he should be, because Abomination has movement problems, right? He doesn't have a gamma leap like Hulk does. He is going to struggle to get to where he wants to be, and that's my experience of him. When I've seen him on the table, I see him using the move action way too much because he's not in the right position. So this helps with that, and it's a size 4 throw, right? So you're kind of getting him into it. So I think, that's why it costs 5. It may be a bit too expensive, but if you're a MODOK lover and you find that he often has a lot of power, this is actually a pretty good card.
Yeah, it's definitely on the line. If it were a long throw, I would be all in on this.
Yeah. Well, large base, medium throw is a long way.
Yeah, I agree. It's just that 5 power within 2 of MODOK 2 is a lot to ask for. So
that's true. Yeah.
But yes, possibly good. All right, let's go on to this bizarre companion character in the same box, which is so fun.
I've got the origin story in front of me. Can we start with that?
Because there's a lot of them. So this is the Wrecking Crew. They are comprised of 4 characters named Brian Kaluski. When I was a kid, I always noticed that they use a lot of Polish names for some reason. Yeah, I don't know. For some reason, maybe they just stuck out to me. I don't know. But here's another Polish guy in the Marvel Universe. Brian Kaluski. Dirk Garthwaite, which is a total porn star name, but here we are. Elliot Franklin and Henry Camp. All right, my friend, tell me, I love this. I know the one thing about them, but tell me about what these 4 characters? Were they friends? Were they union mates? So what's going on?
Listen, I told you not to ask questions, right? I have the highest top line of origin stories. I can't go any deeper than that with these guys, I'm afraid.
Okay.
But Dirk Garthwaite is the wrecker. Okay. And he is approached by Elliot Franklin in prison and asked to retrieve a gamma bomb that Franklin had designed. And they want to use it to ransom New York for millions of dollars, as all good criminals in Marvel do.
That's a good plan. That's a good plan.
And the Wrecker had formerly been a violent criminal who demolished crime scenes with his crowbar. But gained his power when he was mistaken for Loki and given mystical powers by Carnilla the Norn Queen.
Oh.
So someone thought he was Loki and gave him powers. So he has.
Is that a compliment? It's like if you were confused with Loki.
I mean, you're being confused with a god. It's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's, not the most, desirable god, I suppose.
Yeah. So who's the Wrecker? Yeah, Wrecker. Dirk Garthwaite is the Wrecker. A Wrecker is the guy with the crowbar. So Garthwaite manages to retrieve his enchanted crowbar. So the crowbar's been enchanted by an Asgardian god, I think.
Right, exactly.
And
it's
then,
all in the crowbar. These guys are not special, except for the fact they have got this Asgardian powered crowbar.
Yeah, it's a powerful crowbar. And then during
what kind of drugs were these writers on when this? Can you imagine this invention session? I mean,
I bet in the time, because these guys came out in the 70s. 1974 was there. I bet at the time this was cool as hell. I bet they were like, magic crowbar.
The Marvel people are in their Midtown Manhattan office, and there was construction happening outside that they were aggravated about. And they're looking at these guys going, what is going on with these people? And then it's just, they had smoked a few bowls, and and they're like, what if we're mistaken by Loki?
What if Loki has a magic crowbar? Yeah, there you go. But wait, Norbert, there's more. It gets more ridiculous. Yes.
Oh my God.
During a lightning storm, Wrecker, who is Dirk Garthwaite, remember, there will be a quiz at the end. Wrecker tells Franklin and fellow prisoners, Henry Camp and Brian Kaluski, so they're all in prison, to grip the weapon simultaneously. Okay. A lightning bolt then strikes the crowbar, increases the Wrecker's power, and transforms him and the other three men into the Wrecking Crew. So Franklin, what's Franklin's name? Elliot Franklin became Thunderball.
Okay.
Henry Camp became Bulldozer. Brian Kaluski became Pile Driver. And who is the Wrecker?
Dirk Garthwaite.
Yeah, there you go. Good job.
The porn star.
Yeah. And they promptly escape prison. And then in the course of searching for the Gamma Bomb, they're defeated by the Defenders and Luke Cage.
Sad.
Yeah.
Oh, poor guys.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, so it's wild. So there's actually 4 little characters on this base, but it happens to be a 65 millimeter base.
Yeah. We've not seen this before. It's new.
It's crazy.
It's such a cool, great way to do like goons. And I hope they do more of this. I like, because I think these aren't characters that warrant, having their own. I'd never heard these guys before they're added to MCP.
No.
Had you? No.
No.
So they definitely didn't warrant having 4 characters, right? So this is a great way to have some and also turns out some people's favorite characters.
Yeah.
Finley, who's on my team this year, loves the Wrecking Crew and did before they were MCP. I had no idea who they were. So yeah, it's great that they're all on one thing. I also love that they're a 4 threat. So they are essentially 1 threat each, which I think is hilarious.
Oh, that's funny. Yeah.
And brilliant. I hope they do more of this. I want to see. I'm a big fan of the Stepford Cuckoos. They're like the triplet telepaths, and I want to see them all on one base. And like Multiple Man, I want to see one day. I want to see a bunch of him on one base. So yeah, this is really cool and a fun design space to be in.
Hey, you know how they say there'll never be another 2 threat released?
Who says that?
People.
People say that.
Yeah, people say that. So I think I want that Spider-Man foe to be a 2 threat. The one where he's just a brick wall with legs and arms.
Who's that?
I don't know what his name is, but he's just a little brick wall that walks around. And I think that would be a perfect 2 threat.
You mean The Wall? I'm just Googling it.
Yeah, The Wall.
Joshua Waldermeyer, aka The Wall.
He should be the next 2 threat. Thank you very much.
All right, done. Cool.
Okay. So this is the Wrecking Crew is affiliated with the Cabal and Criminal Syndicate. Mm-hmm. Okay. Right. Let's look at their stats. They are defense 4 physical, 3 energy, 4 mystic. They have 6 health on their healthy side and 6 on their injured side. 4 threat, as you mentioned, size 2, and they only move short. Now, this is interesting. They're a 4 threat, but on a big base, right? Have we seen that before?
On a large base? I don't think so. No.
I don't think so. So that's number one interesting. It's a short move, but on a large base, that's not the end of the world, is it?
Yeah, that's fine. That's probably about, I don't know the maths, but it's probably about the same as a small base medium move.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, agreed. And then as far as the defense stats and the health, I think is perfectly acceptable for a range 4 threat character.
Yeah.
Yeah. Cool.
I found another 4 threat character on a large base. It's MODOK.
MODOK 2, is it?
Yeah, MODOK Scientist Supreme.
Oh, okay, yeah. Thank you.
And Sentinel Mark IV. And there's 2 of those. Oh, and Black Dwarf.
Hey, okay, cool. All right, so everybody who's typing on the Discord can calm down.
Yeah. Shut up. Oh, and Rhino. Sorry, I found Rhino.
Rhino. Okay, it's not so uncommon.
Don't correct us. We don't care.
Which one of those is short movers, though?
Rhino.
Rhino's short? Oh, yeah. Okay.
And he's pretty fast. He gets around.
Yeah.
Sentinel Mark IV is short mover. Yeah.
I'm not sure about these guys, though.
It's fine.
So yeah, the short move is something to think about, but on the large base, it's it's manageable.
I've just checked. They all have short moves. So large base short movers been done loads of times. Anyway, moving on.
Their defense stats and their health pool seems perfectly fine for 4 threat, particularly when you keep their large base in mind.
Yeah, agreed.
Okay, cool. Now, this is where it gets odd. Now, I've played them in Midnight Suns, bizarrely, and they are not easy to use. Okay, this is one of those high ceiling characters and high floor characters. So high floor means not easy to understand how to use right away, but high ceiling means that they also, if you put the effort into them, they actually reward you for that effort. Okay. And so it'll become apparent when you see not only their attacks, but also their superpowers. It all kind of fits together. So you've got to unpack this while you're playing the game, which is not easy, which is what I found. But here we are. So 3 attacks. The first one is a physical attack called Indestructible. Indestructible is a range...
Indestructible, nice.
Is a range 3, 5 dice attack, costs 0 power. It's a gainer, so you get 1 power. After the attack is resolved, and it's got 1 trigger on a hit called Thunderous Impact. After this attack is resolved, the target character gains the stun special condition. That's not bad.
Yeah.
Seems really good.
That's on a hit trigger. Hit triggers are great.
Hit triggers are great. It's a gainer, so the 5 dice that you're throwing isn't the end of the world, and it's range 3, which is a fair distance away.
Mm-hmm.
The second attack is called Pile Driver. It's a physical attack. It's only range 2, but it is 6 dice. Also costs you nothing. After the attack is resolved, if damage was dealt and the target character is size 3 or less, this character may push the target character away short. It's may, so you don't have to. It's got 1 trigger on a wild called Suplex, which is fun. Suplex is after the attack is resolved. If the target character has the stun special condition, it gains the stagger special condition. So this kind of incentivizes you to do the attacks in a certain way so far, right?
Yes, you want them to have stun and then do that.
Right. Now,
I've got a complaint here thematically, right?
Ooh,
I used to be a wrestler.
File the complaint.
Yeah.
You used to be a wrestler? What?
No. You didn't let me finish. I used to be a wrestling fan.
Oh, okay. Wow.
Yeah.
Unlike skinny to be a wrestler.
Yeah, I'm too skinny for that. Unlike Crimson Bear in our local community, who actually
wrestler.
Used to be a wrestler. Yeah.
Yeah. Look at that.
Yeah. So pile driver, right? That wrestling move, you pick someone up and you slam them directly down, right?
Right.
Suplex, you pick someone up and you throw them behind you, right? This attack throws away. That's the opposite direction of both those wrestling moves. Not happy with that.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Okay.
Anyway, carry on.
You're going to have to suspend disbelief on that one.
Ruining my immersion there.
Okay. The last attack is a mystic attack randomly. It's the Wrecking Bar Fling.
Yeah.
This is a beam 4. Whoa.
Hell
beam 4. Love that. Only 4 dice, though. Doesn't cost you anything. Yet again, no spenders. This is a weird one where after the range tool is placed for the attack, so you pick a target and you put the tool down, you destroy all size 2 or smaller interactive terrain features where it overlaps, and you add 1 die to each attack roll as part of the attack for each terrain feature destroyed. So that's really fun.
Yeah, that's cool. It's also it's worded in a way I don't think we've seen before. Normally, things like this, you destroy terrain and then add dice equal to the size. This is just add 1 die per terrain feature.
Right.
Which is pretty cool. So actually, you can just knock out a bunch of size 1s or size 2s and get a ton of dice. So that's really cool. I'd love to see more size 1s on tables.
Yeah,
and these guys would love that too.
Yep. After each attack resolves, it gains 1 power. So another gainer, but because it's a beam, you could have multiple instances of that gaining. And then lastly, after each attack is resolved, if damage was dealt and the target has a stagger special condition, you can throw it away short. So again, it rewards you for doing these attacks in exactly the way they're listed on the card.
Yeah, that's a good way of seeing it. Kind of see it as attack 1, 2, and 3, and you want to try and do them in that order. But how can you do that? You can only attack twice, Norbert.
Yeah, exactly. So before you get your take on the attacks, let's talk about their superpower that makes this all work. Okay, it's called it's a reactive superpower called "Let's Take 'Em Down, Boys." It's 3 power. It's after an attack made by this character during its activation is resolved, it may use the superpower. This character makes an attack action and must choose an attack not yet use this activation, and it can only be used once per turn. So essentially, you get 2 actions, so you could do 2 different attacks, and if you have 3 power at the end of all that, you can then make a third attack, and it has to be different from one of the other 2 that you've just done.
Yeah.
I should say they have a passive attack, superpower called Enchanted by Carnilla, which you just told us in your little lore segment there. Thank you, Jamie. Where during the power phase, they gain additional power. So,
oh my God, we know what that means now. We know where that comes from.
Help these people understand then, how does this character work based on those superpowers and the way the attacks work out?
Yeah, so you basically want to be making 3 attacks a turn. So you want to be making your 2 attacks and then using 3 power to let's take them down, boys, and do the third one. But it has to be one that hasn't been used before. So there is an order to this, and I think I'm not a very good Wrecking Crew player, so there's probably a different order people can take. For example, Wrecking Bar Fling is a gainer beam, which are incredible because if you can line up 2 or 3 characters, you can get 2 or 3 power out of it, which is really, really cool. You get a power per target. So there might be a world where you do that one first. But I think, the general idea here is you do Instructable first to give them stun, you do Pile Driver to give them stagger, and then you do Wrecking Bar Fling to also throw them.
Right. Now, think about this, though. So, you're going to gain 2 power round 1. Yep. Okay? So you're going to move forward. You're going to be able to, if you're lucky, do well, here's the problem, okay? You'd want to do an Instructable because that would give you another power. So now you have 3 to do another action, essentially, another attack. The problem is that the Pile Driver, sorry, I take that back. The Instructable is range 3. Okay. Never mind. So you're going to range, round 1, you're going to get 2 power in the power phase. You're going to move forward, hopefully have somebody in Instructable range, which is range 3. That's going to get you the 3rd power you need to then do your Let's Take 'Em Down, Boys. Now, at that range, you're probably not within range 2 of a Pile Driver, but you could do the Wrecking Bar Fling, which is beam 4, which gets you another power. You won't. The problem is that this is all round 1. You're not going to have the right triggers for Wrecking Ball Fling to be able to throw somebody, right? Because you're not going to have the stagger on somebody.
Yeah, no, you're not going to get all that off in round 1.
No. But
you will have power for the Bulldoze.
Yeah, exactly. So Bulldoze is the last active superpower that the characters have. It's power 3. You can push the character medium. So this is similar to Rhino and Juggernaut.
Yeah.
You push them medium. It does not stop movement if it contacts size 2 or smaller interactive terrain piece. Instead, it's destroyed and the character continues being pushed. If this character contacts one or more enemy super characters, one of those characters suffers a damage, and then the Wrecking Crew stops. And it can only be used once per turn. So you could do round 1, you could move forward, do the attack, and then have enough to bulldoze yourself onto a point or away from what happened just then, or not.
That's basically guaranteed as well. So if someone goes on the midline, you can move short and you'll be within range 4 of them to just do a Wrecking Bar Fling. That'll gain you a power and then you can bulldoze into them. And now you're on the midline as well. That's cool.
So as you can see from the way I'm hesitating about this is that it's very hard to decide what you want to do with these guys.
Yeah.
Because you want to, for instance, do what you just said, where you try your goal is to try to get the bulldoze to happen. But at other times, you may want to try to get the goal to be all 3 attacks happen, such that you could possibly stagger somebody and throw them away short.
Yeah.
The problem with all that is it takes pre-planning. That's hard. And also it requires a number of triggers to happen. You need the hit trigger on the indestructible, and you need a wild trigger on the pile driver.
Correct. Yeah, it's a lot. Like you said, there's a huge ceiling on these guys. I think they're very good, though. We're kind of making them sound not good because of how complicated they are. They are a strong, solid character. No real weakness. They might die a bit easily because they've got 3 energy defense, 6 health, but that's not a big deal. They're still pretty great. So yeah, I think you just need to put these guys on the table. And like Norbert says, choose a goal. I'm going to attack 3 times this turn. Make sure you're within range 2 before you do that, and you're pretty golden. Just go for it.
Yep.
So yeah, there's a lot these guys can do. And Bulldoze, large base, medium move is enormous. It's the same as Stampede on Rhino. You can use this for mobility. You can use it to get away. They've got an extract. They can then bulldoze, away from someone. It's a very long distance. Or bulldoze into someone, deal some damage. So yeah, there's a lot going on here, and you should just play them. If you're remotely interested, try them out, and you'll start to learn all the kind of nuances that go into this character.
Yeah, I mean, in a sense, they're very flexible as well, right? They could be a movable character if you want that, or they could try to really nail one big target somehow.
For sure. And also, MCP dice are spiky. You get crits, they explode. 4 dice attacks can often go crazy and do a lot of damage. And these guys are just throwing out attacks. And I think they're sort of spike magnets. They're going to be, throughout a game, they're going to be attacking way more because of their beam, the free beam, and because of their ability to attack 3 times a turn. They're going to be throwing way more dice pools than most characters will. So they're a lot more likely to spike. So that's kind of cool. You're sort of gambling, and the odds are a little bit more in your favor. So I think personally that's the way to play them, is just ping attacks as much as you can. And eventually some will spike. And you might get the odd stagger out, maybe, but I think, that's their job.
All right. In their affiliations, the Criminal Syndicate, do you see them having a particularly good synergy with any of the leaders in Criminal Syndicate?
Yeah, Shadowlands Daredevil.
Again, back to him again.
It's every episode we bring this guy up. What is this? I think we keep reviewing criminals.
Dude, in March, we're going to finally get the... Netflix series
2 days. Online. 2 days from recording now.
Was it 2 days? Oh, I didn't realize that. Oh, that's exciting. Oh, I can't wait. Okay, cool. I need to subscribe to Netflix, obviously.
Disney Plus.
It's Disney Plus now. Yeah, even better. Moved. I have that already. Moved. Yay.
Yeah, nice. So you get a reroll per attack. And what do Wrecking Crew do? They attack loads. So loads of rerolls. So I think
it gets that trigger. Try to get that trigger that you're looking for. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
MODOK, Scientist Supreme.
I mean, no, it's he's got some dice fixing.
A little bit of dice fixing that might be helpful.
Yeah.
Kingpin.
I think good on the Kingpin because again, very mobile with their bulldozer, which is quite easy for them to get. And they've also got a fair amount of displacement. We're going to get onto one of their cards in a minute. They've got a throw. If they get to attack twice, if they attack a stunned character, they could throw them as well. There's a bunch of ways for them to display stuff. So, sorry, not a bunch of ways. They have a bunch of chances to display stuff. So yeah, I think pretty good in Kingpin because they can throw them off points and stand on them. Big base, they can block points as well. So
yeah, that's true. Yeah,
pretty cool.
The other affiliation they're in is the Cabal. I was trying to think of Red Skull 3, crits, skulls turning into crits could be helpful to get the triggers that you're after.
It's only once per turn though, right? So they're, of all their attacks they're making, they're only benefiting from that one. So less good, I think.
Yep. Malekith and Cabal, looking at his leadership.
Yeah, I reckon Crew, are they going to be dazing and KOing a lot of people? Maybe, because of the dice spike hunting I mentioned earlier. So yeah, that could be quite good. But I think they're just a solid character. They're all rounders. I think they're more criminal flavored than they are Cabal flavored. They're not. They're not outright murderers, but they'll get some job done. Not sure which job, but they'll get a lot done.
All right, let's talk about the 2 cards that they come with. One is called Mystic Menace. It's unaffiliated. It's a reactive card. During the power phase, the allied Wrecking Crew may spend a power, just 1 power, to play this card. until this character is dazed or until the end of the round. When an enemy character ends a movement within 2 of this character, that character gains the Hex special condition. Man, for 1 power, that sounds really good.
1 power and a tactics card, which is a valuable resource.
Yeah, that's true.
But when an enemy character ends a movement within 2 of this character, they get Hex. Yeah, pretty cool. I would say that I wouldn't have been a fan of this until Joe Manji came on and told us about Iceman, where, Iceman's got that ability of when you end a movement within 2, they give out slow. And you think, oh, well, they just won't end within 2, right? But the actual strength of that comes from your opponent having to think about it and the kind of mental tax you're putting on your opponent. So I think this is quite cool. Slap this down and be like, well, there you go. For a round, you got to think about that. You don't want to come near them because you'll get hexed. And hexed is pretty bad, right?
Yeah, hex is a good condition.
Yeah,
so
can't explode crits. So
that's a good way to look at this. It's not so much as trying to get hex on people. It's rather trying to get people to avoid coming near you.
Yeah, exactly. And if
although, do they want that though? Like they kind of want to be within range 2 of defenders, but Yeah,
I mean, I can imagine them with the kind of round 1 we gave them earlier of like they're going to move, do a gainer, bulldoze into someone. It suggests they're not going to have an extract, right? They're chasing an extract. So I think this is a like round 2, 3. They daze someone, they grab their extract, and now they're bulldozing back to the safety. Maybe this is when this card comes out. So it's like, well, if you want this extract, you got to come towards me and hit me. And then if you do, you're going to be hexed, so it's going to be harder to hurt me. So I think this is like a, mid to late game, I'm now defensive because I've got my extract thing. So yeah, pretty cool. Not sure it's worth for tactics card slot, but it's a cool card.
Yeah, agreed. Okay, the second one though is super exciting. It's called Stronger Together. It's unaffiliated, so you can take it whenever you take them. It's active. During their activation, the Wrecking Crew can spend 3 power to play this card. Choose a character of size 4 or less within 4 of range 4 that was attacked by the Wrecking Crew. I said wedding crew.
The wedding crew. Please paint them like that. Just 4 grooms.
It was attacked by the Wrecking Crew this activation. If the chosen character was attacked once by the Wrecking Crew, throw it away short. If it was attacked twice, throw a medium. If it was attacked 3 or more times, I'd like to know how you could do 3 or more than 3, but you could throw it long.
Oh, there's cards like cruelty, right? They're a criminal. You could pick cruelty.
Okay. Yeah. Okay, so let's recap. So basically, the Wrecking Crew does a bunch of attacks onto a character. It then can spend 3 power, which it probably will have because of all its gainers, and play this card, and that target gets thrown either short, medium, or long, depending on how many times they've attacked him.
Yeah. I'm going to try not to overhype this, but I think this is incredible.
Yeah.
This is an amazing card.
Yeah, I agree.
Every number on this card makes it better. Like, they spend 3, that's very fair, and they're going to get that easily because they gain 2 a turn, and then they have a bunch of gainers, so they've easily got the power for that. It's a size 4 throw, which is, the best. Within 4 of them, which is enormous, and we could potentially throw them long. That's crazy. This card is amazing, and again, is quite easy for them to attack 3 times. Just have to be in range 2 of someone. That's it. That's basically the only requirement.
And even with the range 4 one, if the target is at the very extent of their beam 4, you're only going to be able to attack it once. I take that back. Actually, you could do the same action twice, couldn't you? But you could. So you could do 2 beams into somebody who's range 4 away, and that's already throwing that person medium away.
Yeah, exactly. And medium's an amazing throw, right? And long is just silly good. But there's also cruelty, which is a criminal syndicate card, right? And that's range 5. So you could be at range 4 of them, do your beam, get them just on the tip of the beam, and then use cruelty, and then throw the medium. Like, it's amazing.
Yeah. Actually, long. You could beam them twice, then do cruelty, and then throw them long.
Good point. Yeah, because cruelty's not an action, right?
No.
There you go. Even better. So yeah, I think this is incredible. I think you can use this to throw, Abomination into his friends. You can use this to displace Hulks. Just throw a Hulk away. This card's amazing, and you should take this every single time you play Wrecking Crew.
I agree.
Unquestionable. Just take this every game. Yeah. This should be staple to that card.
It's a fun card, and it's actually really useful in the game.
Yeah, very useful is an understatement. It's amazing. It's incredible. Yeah, take this every game.
So, all in all, I think this is a fantastic box. I'm really happy with my purchase on this one.
Yeah, nice. I agree. You didn't say its snappy name. You didn't say, "Oh, we're looking at box CP."
Yeah. What is that? Oh my God! People need to know
I hate
this.
to break it to you. I don't think anyone cares.
No, of course they do. CP 162. People fill in spreadsheets to try to figure out what the next box is going to be and stuff like that.
Is there any sense to it though?
No, they used to be, but now not so much anymore.
All right, fair enough. All right, well, yeah, great. Abomination Wrecking Crew. Lots of smashing, lots of funny, kind of goofy stuff. I think it's great.
Have you played against them?
Yes, a lot.
Oh.
And I feel like I have to kind of sit and wait until they're done because they're just like, and another one, and a beam. Now I'm beaming you, and I'm beaming your entire team because everything's free. And I've got this crazy card, which even on like, we highlighted the size 4 throw on that. Even on just like a character that I need to do something, throwing a size 2 character long, like it's just going to mess up my entire turn. It's a game-winning card. It's amazing.
All right. Should we move it to sleeve it and heave it?
Yes.
Sleeve it or heave it.
Sleeve it or heave it. Take it or leave it. Sleeve it or heave it. Can't you believe it?
You nailed that vocal take on that song, man. You should be proud.
Well, that's going to be my retirement plan.
Yeah.
Singing.
Yeah, nice. I'm fully behind it.
Thank you. You'll be my guitarist. We'll be busking in the northern line somewhere.
Yeah, nice. We used to have a podcast about plastic superheroes. Anyway, here's Wonderwall. Right.
Okay.
Sleeve or heave it.
So you've chosen this, so you get to read it.
All right. This is Gamma Launch. You might understand why I chose this because there's been a lot of talk of Gamma, a lot of talk of green things here, and a lot of talk of throwing. So Gamma Launch. It's unaffiliated. It's an active card. During Hulk's activation, if he's within 2 of another allied character that is not holding an asset or civilian token, he may spend 3 to play this card. Place the other allied character within 5 of its current position. So basically, the artwork for this is perfect. It is just Hulk throwing Spider-Man, which is exactly what this card's all about.
Mm-hmm.
I love it. It's super fun. I'm not sure about the practicalities of it. There's a lot of caveats in there, like it has to be during Hulk's turn. It has to be within 2 of them. It costs 3, which means if you do this round 1, which we'll get onto in a minute, most people do, it means Hulk then starts the game with no power, basically, because he's using this card and then has nothing else to do, which is a bit sad.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's really fun. And I want to shout out Jay Mundo, who uses this religiously. We need to get a card art of this with just his face on. Because his answer to everything is, I'll just put in the strongest thing I can find, like CGR or Malekith, and I'll just Gamma launch them. Round 1, Hulk achieves nothing because he has no power, but my big scary thing is now range 5 up the field, and I'm going to attack your deployment line, which is pretty hilarious.
All right, so the important thing here is that it has to happen at Hulk's turn, which means the character that gets thrown has to survive whatever he's being thrown into.
Yeah. He's not getting thrown, it's getting placed.
It's place even, place. Yeah. But the point is that he has to survive whatever next activation the opponent's going to do, that character. It's size unrestricted, so you could throw some beefy characters up front.
Yeah.
So there is that. But then, as you said, he's out of power, so he's just going to waddle forward 2 moves onto a point or something.
Yeah, exactly. He's not going to achieve much. I mean, unless you can chuck him a power, someone can, give him 1 more power, they can grab an extract. But yeah, this isn't like your kind of, first activation play, I don't think, because you're going to be leaving extracts on the ground.
Yeah, exactly. And it's not a thing like where, okay, my guy has an extract, let me throw him to safety somewhere. He's not going to be able to do that because you have to draw. You can't be holding those extracts to throw him. So have you ever seen this card being used mid-game somehow?
I mean, I have, badly, to kind of reposition people, if they're in a bad place. Like I play Hulk in New Mutants a lot. And often, like Magic finds herself in trouble. So I'll use Gamma Launch to kind of displace her backwards into safety. But probably not worth a tactics card slot, especially in a leadership that uses a tactics card leadership. So yeah, I mean, it's just a bit of a fun card, really. I like that it's around. It's very thematic. I think it's very fairly ruled because, I think this was actually different as well. I think this worked different when it first got released. And now it's very fair. So yeah, just a bit of fun, really.
Yeah, I mean, I think the potential could be interesting, but like I said, you need to have the right character to set things up. And so you need a tanky character that you're throwing up there that's actually going to be doing some work.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I mean, it's such a basic card. There's nothing like sophisticated about it. It all is dependent on what you want Hulk to be doing without power, and who the character is that you're throwing, and what their job is going to be when they get up there. Like, why would you want that to happen? You know?
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I just remembered I used to run this in Brotherhood, where Magneto led Brotherhood, because you could give a Hulk an extra power before he does this, so then he can gamma launch, and then he can double walk and grab an extract, which is a little useful. And I used to throw Juggernaut to the middle of the field, which is hilarious, because then Juggernaut can just go wherever he wants. But yeah, you're right. What's Juggernaut then achieving? Not much.
Yes, exactly. Right. He could survive, clearly, but then like, what's his job? Like, what is he doing there? He doesn't do much damage. He could pick up an extract or something, but presumably the other team has already picked that up.
Yeah.
I'm not sure.
Yeah.
I'm not sure.
There you go. Not the most competitive card, but I think quite flavorful and pretty fun.
Yeah. You want to make this card work. It seems great. Because range 5 is bonkers.
Yeah, exactly. And sizeless. You know, it can. There's probably a lot of shenanigans you could do with this.
Can you throw your Sentinels with this thing?
Yeah.
They don't have a rule, like you can't place them or anything like that?
Oh, wait. They do have that rule. So no, you can't.
Oh,
no, wait.
God.
No, they can be placed. No, wait. They can be placed, because Lockjaw can teleport them around.
Okay.
They can't be advanced by allies. That's what it is.
Okay.
So my Silver Sable thing, remember? I had to jump on Christmas Eve and fix that episode.
Yeah, Christmas Eve.
Sad. Yeah. But they could be placed by this, I think.
All right.
So
okay, cool. So Jamie's sleeving it.
Sure. I'll sleeve it. Someone's got to. Jay Mundo's sleeving it. That's who's sleeving it.
Yeah, Jay is definitely sleeving it.
For those of you that don't know Jay Mundo, by the way, he is our resident unaffiliated player in London. He likes playing unaffiliated, and I think he's currently going for #1 ranked in unaffiliated.
Yeah, he's number 2 currently, so he's almost there.
Yeah, there you go. Speaking of Longshanks, actually, I have been trying to convince Longshanks. I need to corral up some support for this. I've been trying to convince Longshanks to add leader-based rankings for MCP. So at the moment, you can be like, the best X-Men player in the world, but it doesn't differentiate between Cyclops, Storm, or Xavier. Yeah. And in my journey playing New Mutants and getting to #1 in affiliation, I had loads of fun playing the underdogs, and I'm currently playing Sentinels and loving it, because I get to play an affiliation that no one cares about, and I get to not be sad when I lose and try and get like a best in affiliation badge, which I'm pretty close to. So I think I'm close to convincing Longshanks to add it, but I need more support, because I think...
Is it a voting thing? Have you added one of those?
I added that, and he declined it. But I'm now on his Discord, and I think he's agreeing to it slowly. But the argument is that not many people care about this. So if you care about that, if you would like to be, best in affiliation best player for your favorite leader who maybe doesn't get played a lot, my argument is basically, I think we'll start to see leaders that no one cares about get played more. Like, I think you'll see more Hulkbusters on the table.
Yeah, maybe.
And more Green Goblins and more Sin Cabal, maybe more Corvus in charge. So yeah, that's my argument basically. So if you agree with that, jump on the Longshanks Discord. You can get on there through Longshanks. There'll be a link to his Discord, and join in on the MCP channel. I'm using the weight of this podcast to get what I want.
Wow.
But I think it'll be good for the game.
Okay. Well, how would people get a hold of us if they disagree?
Well, they can't. They can just go tell someone else. No, they can go to our Discord. Our Discord is linked below this episode thingy. Go on our Discord and post your weekly rule correction for what we got wrong in this episode. And you can also support us on Patreon if you like what we do. It helps us keep the lights on and look after our lovely editor, Hannah. So yes, go and subscribe on our Patreon. It's something stupid like £3 a month. And we post Patreon exclusive content up there. But if you can't afford to do that, then don't worry, because we also release the Patreon episodes for free for everyone a few months after they've been released. So they'll be available for you to listen to as well.
Yeah. Thank you to all the supporters already who have given us some of their cash. Slowly being able to collect enough money to buy myself some whiskey to put me back into good spirits.
Yeah.
And also pay for server costs and there's recording software costs. But,
ain't cheap. Having a podcast ain't cheap.
No, it turns out.
We probably wouldn't have done this if we'd known it would cost this much.
But most of all, we thank you very much for listening. We hope you tell your friends about the podcast and you get some value out of it. So thanks very much.
Yes, thank you. And when your friend tells you to grab onto the crowbar in the middle of a lightning storm, you should do it.
Good advice. Thanks everybody for listening and take care. Bye.